Hi, welcome back to my channel. It is day 21. If you've been keeping up since the beginning, today was meant to be the final day of a 21 water fast, but I decided to extend it to 30 days. So I still have another, including today, another 9 days to go. I wanted to cover off two things today. One, a kind of a update of how things are going, and then talk about why I even started a 21-day water fast to begin with. So last night I kind of had like a churning in my stomach. Yeah, if I eat something that doesn't really agree with me, I kind of get this fluttery of the stomach, and within 12 hours or so or less, I'll have bowel movement. Again, TMI, I'm setting the picture, setting up the story. So felt that last night, drank some water. I'll admit, I was kind of like, uh-oh, am I going too long? Is something wrong? I always think that when things are going fine, all of a sudden something happens, I think, oh my gosh. So I react and pay attention to things that I feel. Woke up this morning, did some work, about an hour, kitchen work, and then had a bowel movement. So this is the third bowel movement for the water fast, which I think is so interesting. Like I mentioned, I've done juice fasts before, and I felt like it was like an emptying process, so it kind of is a little bit more ongoing. But for the water fast, there has been very little. I don't feel constipated at all. Weight's been going down, so things are happening. So the bowel movements are so interesting because it's almost like, if you're filling a tube or something and then it gets too full, everything, things just displace. That's what it's like. It's just kind of like, you got this feeling, I've got to go, and things just fall out. There's no pushing, there's no nothing, because it's just like, this is what's coming out. You're thinking, okay, is there more? Can I bear down? Nothing. It's just like, that's all, get up and go. I find it's really different, in my opinion. Again, not to go too crazy, it was oily substance, very, very dark. And yeah, it was definitely, that's been carrying in me. That's what I always so interested in these fasts, when you get to see something that's coming out of you, especially since it's been so long that I've been on this fast. I'm thinking, hey, I've got to be, well, not necessarily fully empty, but still. So we're digging deep. So I'm kind of glad that I did decide to do the extra days, because if I had started the refeeding process now, I would have just kind of like, stopped. It's a process that's probably in its way of happening. So it'll be interesting to see what the next 5 days are like. Water intake, still trying to get it up, and energy level has been fine. So, and just to touch on the energy level thing, like I hear people say sometimes, they'll get lightheaded maybe because they get up too fast or do too much. I guess I'm just naturally locked into a routine where I'm doing a lot around the house, so it's just naturally that, off the bus stops, things like that. When I do find something happens, and I don't know why this is only happening on my water flask. I have 3 levels in the house. How many times have I been in the basement, come upstairs, and forgot something in the basement? Got to go back down again and then back up. Then when I get up, I'm kind of like, whoa, that was a lot of energy. So those are the kind of situations where I find I put forward too much, but nothing crazy. So that's good. Still making sure I just lie down, just flake out, do a puzzle or something, so I'm not constantly on the go. That's that. So the second thing I wanted to cover is why I even came across, or why I even thought about doing a 21-day water fast. I've done many other fasts before. Keep saying that. I'm going to start doing a little, some videos about those. And I mentioned I had done a water fast before, 30 days. But what had happened on that situation, I'll go into another time, I was in a juice fast and I had to travel for work, and I didn't have access to the fruits that in my blender, my juicer, what have you. So I said, you know what, I want to keep going as usual, let me just do coconut water. I'd heard it was really amazing, like that's #1 for water, great to do a fast on, and I had easy access because I was in the tropics. So that's how that came about. So it was very different. From the get-go, I was just on a high, because the electrolytes, that's powerful stuff. This time, why I came about this is because I'm trying to keep this streamlined into answering the question and not go too crazy, because it makes me very angry. I'm in this situation, but I'm trying to let it go. I actually have a periodontal issue. If you can see, I have this hanging tooth sliding out of my head. I'm not going to go into that story right now, but long story short, I found out that I have gum pockets. It's a periodontal thing where I guess bacteria and the gum starts to, you're suffering kind of a bone loss around, the gums are starting, you're losing gum tissue, and it could be bone loss, and what starts happening is you'll see your gum starting to recede, and your teeth can get loose. Hence, I got this. Sorry. The lead up to it makes me so angry. Anyway, so what basically happened was I had gone to a dentist, went to several dentists, another story. Nobody knew what was wrong, even though I was pointing out for a while. I'm sure I'm seeing something. Sorry. Finally, a dentist said to me, yeah, you've got pockets. And I'm like, what? I've been going to the dentist regular. You know, I have. I'm sorry. Anyway, going to the dentist regular, went to my original dentist. I had the same dentist for like decades. Nothing. So this particular dentist then identified this is what it was. Oh, we can solve your problems. We'll do, I forget the word I'm thinking of, bone grafting and this and that. Just give me a few $1,000s. And I'm the type of person who, tell me why something was caused. Let me know, how it happens, how I can reverse. When I say reverse, maybe is there some kind of practice I'm doing that's wrong? Give me that information. Don't just give me an invoice and say, pay this and we'll sort you out. Especially when it's requiring surgery and metal and all. Like, what? That's not who I am. So that made me furious. So from that appointment with that particular dentist, things led up to that, and she had said to me at the time, oh yes, we can see it, and there's probably a lot of, because when you look at my teeth, they look pretty textbook, just so but they aren't like, I take care of my teeth. And she said, oh, there's a lot of things going down in the gums we can see, you can't see it, and da-da-da-da-da. So she told me, here's a prescription, there's another one, here's your invoice, here's a prescription. What's in this? Anyway, sorry, let me cut this down. So I left, went home, did research, and it said, this is why it's caused, a lot of acidity, you've got bacteria, good, bad bacteria feeding off of your eating, it leaves a residue in your teeth, and bacteria eats that, and then it just keeps going. So basically got a lot of bacteria in the teeth. Nothing like that was said. It was said things like, use probiotics that can help, alkaline, and all these other things. So I had about a 3-4 week space between the next appointment with this particular dentist, and so I went and I did oil pulling, bought probiotics, put it on my teeth. I have a water pick, used that, and just went full. I went back to her, opened my mouth, she's like, oh my gosh, your teeth are 150% better. All it took was a little prescription. See what medicine can do? Prescription was still in the bottom of my bag. I hadn't even touched it, so I knew right away there we were severing that because they weren't looking to help me at the time, right? Anyway, so other things happen. That'll be another story. So again, I end up going back online because no one really, I did find a dentist, which I'm with now, who's good and kind of on, on his own. Oh, you need to get a water pick. You need to do all that. So we aligned on that level, and he's not about unnecessarily just going and doing operations, let's see what you can do, that kind of thing. So I respected that. So I went online again because I'm still not grasping, I don't, from what you're being told of how to take care of your teeth, obviously it's not working for me. What's going on? So I've stumbled across this gentleman. I'll go online and see who has a worse case than I do. Side note, I am an academic, meaning I've done graduate work at a PhD level, and I just say this because when you talk to some medical people and you say, you're off the beaten path, you want to go a little more alternative or not the typical, just write up a prescription, they look at you as like, oh, you've been on Wikipedia again? No, I haven't been on Wikipedia. I understand how to do proper research, right? Anyway, so I'm digging deep, and I found this gentleman who had deeper pockets than mine. His teeth were he made it sound like, shake his head, they were wiggling. And what he discovered, what worked for him, is that he went on a 21-day water fast. And the idea being was just to keep his mouth clean as long as possible. I think he started with intermittent fasting, and I believe that's what he does now. So he has a window where he eats, and then he has a long window where, he does the routine on his teeth, and then just stay clean. So there's no opportunity for the bacteria to eat anything because your teeth are clean. So he had mentioned the 21-day water fast, and I was like, okay, that makes sense to me. You know, I put some other things that he mentioned to practice at the time because I wasn't in a mindset to do the water fast, because I really didn't want to do water fast. I was still of the, you know, when you're going for a long period of time, more than 3 to 5 days, someone should be helping you, that kind of thing. So I didn't necessarily, I just wasn't mentally there. But fast forward to now, I was really like, you know what, I really want to tackle these teeth. I don't want to lose this tooth. I want to be in having some kind of protocol, some kind of a ritual that I'm doing to help myself, right? So I decided to do the 21-day water fast, give it a shot. As well, he mentioned in there to do the water pick, so do that, I think it's twice a day. That's what I've been doing it twice a day, most days. Some days I've done it once, but anyway, do it twice a day. He suggested a gum massage. That makes sense to me. Get circulation, get things moving. So I'll put tea tree or cloves on my sorry, I'm trying to get through this. I'll put tea tree oil or clove oil, I haven't done oregano, on my fingers, and I'll just go and do a circular massage all around the inside and the outside of my teeth, along the gums, and, you know, let that settle. When I brush my teeth, I'll put a little bit of salt. Some of these are just natural things I heard along the way when I was telling people I had this issue. They're like, it doesn't require all this. Like, just try this. You just need to up from your typical, you know, probably your regular routine. So the fast, I added oil pulling. I don't think he's a believer in oil pulling. I think he said he didn't really see a difference either way. I've just found since the very first time when I had that encounter with the dentist and I started the oil pulling, my teeth did feel different to me. They felt whiter. They felt, they get like a slippery kind of a, not an oily residue, but they just seem like, I don't know, like things, like a coat, like a protection coat or something. I'm not sure. So I do sunflower oil at night and coconut oil in the morning. Have I done it every single day? I haven't. But for these last 10 days, I'm going to make sure I've got everything in place. I'm going to do that. This is the final. And obviously, you know, I'm not looking to do 21-day water fast ongoing or anywhere in the near future. So I will probably attempt some kind of an intermittent fasting, and not to be restrictive, but just like stop eating at 7 p.m. and I'm not usually a morning eater anyways, and then maybe I'll pick up my eating at 11, so that's a nice good chunk of hours. Another thing he said too is just constantly make sure you're keeping your mouth clean, so even after you eat, always have a bottle of water with you just to do a swish and out, because typically we've been told and raised just have to brush your teeth twice a day, morning and night. You start hearing a little bit about, you know, rinse your mouth out after you eat, but typically, you know, that was that. So yeah, that was my why. I hope that didn't go too long. Any questions, let me know. And like I said, I'm going to continue on that because regardless, I still need something in place. A toothbrush and just brushing hasn't been working for me, obviously. And when I do things like this and I go back to the dentist, they're like, wow, what are you doing? So I'm fine to do the radical self-care on myself. I don't mind that. Understandably, I think maybe a lot of people aren't about that. They prefer just the Band-Aid solution. Here, give me the pill. Oh yeah, just give me surgery. But to me, I need the root so I know what's causing it so that I can make the lifestyle change to do it. I mean, if I don't have time for myself, who else, right? And that's kind of true how I just feel about all of this fasting in whole. So I will, at the end, of course, insert what my hours are like now on day 21, and I'll probably do just a kind of a separate video as well, just to say what has happened exactly in the first 21 days, like the results, you know, where I am with the weight, where I'm with measurements. I do have pictures that I took in the beginning and along the way. Don't know if I'll post them. Maybe I'll just do the headshot so you can see, you know, I've gone from watermelon to a little bit more of a narrow, but we'll see how it goes. So anyway, again, thank you for watching. Any comments, questions, leave them below, let me know, and hey, shoot me a like and subscribe. Things could get interesting. Take it easy. Thanks.